day everyone, my name is Pix. Probably could have guessed by now, but in this video I'll be breaking down the Speedart I made, where I turned myself into Tricky the Clown from Madness Combat. Some time ago I actually already made this, a different variant of the same clown of course, but I'm actually working on a video where I'll remake some of my older photo manipulation art. That's why I'm making Tricky again, as you can see, all starting by making a few selections of the main focus of the image, myself included, and this wonderful pile of corpses that I found online. Please note, don't look up a pile of bodies on Google without expecting some heavy material. I honestly should have been expecting that in hindsight. It's very likely that watching me making all these selections isn't all that entertaining, but trust me, things will get exciting very soon. Making a photo manipulation can be rather time-consuming and often tedious, but the final results are always what keep me going. If I'm not talking that much, then please enjoy this music I picked out for you. All of them are related to either clowns in general or Madness Combat itself. The first one you're hearing happens to be the official theme of Tricky himself. I went on to multiple copyright checkers, and I hope I'm in the clear with this. It's actually a surprise that Madness Combat, being, indie animation, happens to be copyrighted, because mainly of the people who created the music is well known and all that, but hey, I should be fine. Probably the most entertaining bit of imagining a photo manipulation is sketching it out manually. It gives me what I need to really visualize what I'm really going for. Often what I have in my head is really hard to translate onto the canvas, as things can get really messy really fast. A quick note about selecting hair. Going into select and mask to use the refine edge tool always works wonders when selecting things such as leaves and hair, but as you can see, it can often leave me with a very small, very faint white outline. It doesn't affect the image much, but I prefer to have a 1 pixel selection bigger than the hair outside the hair, just so that I can get rid of the white outline, as you can see me doing here. Just a note, in case the refine edge is, ever not perfect, so it's never perfect. Oh, and please, before embarrassment catches up to me, I'll be fixing the hair later in the project. Fixing mistakes to make things look just right is very common for me, and it's very common for a lot of other people too. It's why I can often take a while to finish any one Photoshop piece. had to improvise a bit when making the floating islands in the background. Grabbing photos of mountains and flipping them is more than likely the best choice, but it's surprisingly hard to find mountain pictures online that aren't obscured by any kind of cloud. So instead, I color corrected these blue, snowy mountains to make them look more reddish, considering the overall tone of the piece. As I was putting up these piles of dirt and debris in the sky, I wanted to try really hard to find a way to separate the subject from the background. I didn't want them to blend too much together because then it'll just be really confusing to look at. I figured a little bit of haze wouldn't hurt, but you'll see that I figure out what to do after I complete the background. In the animation of Madness Combat, there's this giant beam crack thing that's in the sky. It's the reason the setting is in shambles to begin with. You saw that during my sketches I wanted to put it in, but I didn't think it fit the piece at the time. The reason I put it here now was because I was in desperate need for a really heavy light source, considering the bodies on the floor. I figured it was time to somehow make it work, so I put it in the scene, and I went to shading myself, and I honestly just hoped that it worked. If it didn't, then I just remove it, but I needed some kind of light, considering the heavy light on the corpses. I guess I kind of had to shade everything else as well, considering the light is a very strong and heavy light. I thought that the light on the mountains by itself would work, but I ended up needing it to manually paint it in. The reason I used the soft gradient brush is because I planned on doing something really interesting later on to make it look a lot cleaner. I didn't put in that much focus on the background because you'll see why very soon. Honestly, probably the most exciting bit of this entire project was making the sign from scratch. In the original piece that I made, I cheated my way by having an actual Party City stop sign. Making the stop sign and making an actual setting were the two things I wanted to see if I had improved on. And considering how it looks in the end, I am thoroughly impressed by myself. I felt like adding some dirt onto me, seeing how my skin looks strangely smooth due to the quality of my phone camera. It didn't help that my foot was also a little blurry, so I had to put a lot of focus on making it look detailed. And finally, the big reveal of the background. After making a bunch of bright lights to help sell the scene, I blurred the background with a very slight light bokeh, which basically increases the brighter spots, the spots with high exposure. I used that opportunity to add chromatic aberration on those high exposure areas, just to add a touch more madness. Get it? Because madness is the forget it. All that was left was a few gradient maps mixed in with blend modes to help push the color of the overall scene towards one direction: red. After that, there was just a camera raw filter, and I guess that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you were able to get something out of the breakdown. I hope to see you all in the next one, so take care and have a good day.